Hello and welcome to Sports News Africa, the home of Africa's sporting conversation. Let's take a look at the headlines. The NFF FIFA saga rambles on. And South Africa mourns the death of its football national team captain. And the new Ethiopian Premier League season kicks off in Addis Ababa. Thank you for joining us in Sports News Africa. I'm Ehi Longi. South Africa is mourning the loss of a third sporting personality, all in the space of 3 days. On Saturday, female boxer Pendile Molase, who fell into a coma after being knocked out earlier this month, died in hospital. Molase is the first female fighter in South Africa to have died as a direct result of injuries sustained in the ring. Molase was taken off life support and moved out of intensive care last week, but it is understood that she never regained consciousness. She was knocked out in the 6th round by her opponent, Liz Butler, who it is believed is not coping well with the tragic news about Molase's death, and is also believed she has vowed not to box again. South Africa's other high-profile sporting deaths were former world 800-meter champion Mbeleni Malautsi, who died in a fatal car crash last Friday, while on Sunday the country also learned of the death of national football team captain and goalkeeper Senzo Meyiwa, who was shot dead by robbers. In Kenya, what started off as a gathering of football fans out to cheer their clubs to victory turned into violent acts of vandalism. After seeing their side slump to a defeat to Sofapaka at Kenyatta Stadium, Gor Mahia's fans went on a rampage, causing damage to facilities, looting shops and burning cars. The incident on Saturday was the second in a week where a section of AFC Leopards fans were seen hurling stones and other objects into the pitch when an opposing player scored, scene similar to the one that claimed the life of Cameroon player Albert Bossi late last August in Algeria.
The early mood was festive as over 5,000 fans poured into the Kenyatta Stadium in Machakos County, east of Nairobi, on Sunday to catch the action in one of the top games of the Kenya Premier League season, the clash between defending champions Gor Mahia and Sofapaka. The two teams at the top of the league were separated by 4 points with 3 matches left. The match was Gor Mahia's opportunity to showcase their football prowess and extend their lead in the charts.
If we win today, then the cup comes back to us and the rest of the games will just be a mere formality.
But despite aggressive cheering from Gor Mahia fans, their aspirations for a second successive title received a severe jolt when their side went down 3-2 to a resilient Sofapaka side. The devastating loss sent Gor Mahia's fans on a rampage, rioting and destroying stadium facilities.
The fans should control themselves. They should accept the results. If they are wrong, then they go back and prepare like it is in football. You can't be up all the time. At one time, you go down. And when you go down, you have to prepare yourself to come up.
This win today means a lot to us because we are approaching to #1 spot because we played against the leading team. So we are just happy. And we are still very happy, and we are still very happy. We know we will make it in the long run.
The team was consequently banned from playing at the stadium, and the club was slapped with a $115,000 fine for damages caused by fans. What put Gor's hearts in their mouths was that the win opens wide the title chase, as Batoto Bamungu Club has closed the gap with 53 points, while Gor remain at the top with 54 points. Should Gor win the final 2 matches, they will clinch the title.
To Nigeria next, and the NFF FIFA saga rumbles on. Nigeria is at risk of another FIFA ban after a court in the African country declared the elections that ushered in Amaju Pinnick as president of the Nigeria Football Federation illegal. FIFA has warned that should anything hinder the newly elected NFF Executive Committee led by Pinnick, the World Football Governing Body will move for an automatic ban of Nigeria till the next FIFA Congress in May.
Nigerian football is treading on rocky grounds once again after the government scrapped the elections of the country's Football Federation officials. On Thursday last week, a court ruling in the central town of Jos annulled newly elected NFF President Amaju Pinnick and his team from operating. FIFA's reaction was prompt, warning Nigeria it risks a ban that will hold until next FIFA Congress in May next year. The ban will shelve the Super Eagles' bid to defend their title at the 2015 Africa Cup of Nations, which will kick off early next year.
And the point has to be made that the Nigerian constitution is a grand norm. That is the highest law of the land in Nigeria, as far as Nigeria is concerned. So that every other law, even international law, where there's a conflict between Nigerian law and international law, that the Nigerian law, which is a local law, prevails against that law. So it only behoves on the parties who are aware of FIFA laws to follow the FIFA rules. If the FIFA says that you have to go to court of arbitration, then forget about going to Nigerian court, since you know, and go to FIFA Court of Arbitration.
Everton into ninth. First time they've been in the top half this season.
Constitutional lawyer Donatus Ugus added that Nigerian law should essentially override the FIFA laws, but the NFF knows the consequences should they disregard diplomatic laws.
If FIFA rule comes in, then it behoves on those persons who are aware of the FIFA rule and knows the consequence to try to avoid it from happening. Because obviously, if it happens, the Nigerian law must not give way. It is only following it by diplomatic means that they may avoid the FIFA sledgehammer from coming down on them.
Football analyst Linus Oku feels that NFF should adhere to the FIFA rules to avoid any extreme consequences.
I think NFA had it wrong by going on without respecting the courts. So, for the fact they did that, I believe they wouldn't have had the election. And in respect to elect a new government in the NFA, the Glass House. So I believe they should know what they will do. The sports minister should know what she do about that.
Recently, former Super Eagles head coach Stephen Keshi and his 2 assistants were sacked over poor performances in the 2015 Africa Cup of Nations campaigns. Nigeria remains third in the 2015 AFCON qualifying Group A with 4 points, while South Africa tops with 8. Congo is second with 7 points, and Sudan is last with just 3 points.
Welcome back to Sports News Africa. The news of the death of Senzo Meyiwa, who played for the national football team and the Orlando Pirates, has sent shockwaves across South Africa and beyond. Tributes to Meyiwa flooded in from across the football world. Spain's World Cup winning goalkeeper and captain Iker Casillas posted on his Instagram account a picture of Meyiwa after the pair had swapped jerseys, saying, "Very sad for the dramatic loss of friend, R.I.P. Senzo." FIFA President Sepp Blatter described Meyiwa's killing as a senseless, tragic loss.
The murder of South Africa's national football captain Senzo Meyiwa, shot dead during a home robbery, led to emotion and outrage among the country and the football authorities. Fighting back a flood of tears, national football coach Shakes Mashaba described Meyiwa as a very kind person, while the country's sports minister says that the criminals took an asset of the nation and must pay for what they have done.
We know for a fact that South Africa is poorer today without Senzo Meyiwa. And we dip our sporting banners for this fallen hero. And we know for a fact that there is no grave big enough to bury this African elephant. Our message is very clear that they can run, but they will not hide. And they've taken an innocent soul, an asset of the nation. And in this particular regard, they must pay for what they have done. The struggle against and bringing safety within our communities continues.
It was unexpected because the way it happened also, I could not see the Senzo in that area at that time of the night. But I guess I was with friends, and the facts are still catchy for me. What actually happened? I'm told that they went in and asked for a cell phone, and they said the cell phone only can get somebody to be killed like a criminal. I say it can't be, and that is why I'm appealing to the media, to everybody, that just help us to get the culprit, so they must know the actual reason what actually happened. I said to the players today, we cannot express emotions except to ventilate. If you feel like crying, you must cry. If you feel like being sad, you must be sad. But importantly, we must give Senzo a good send-off because he was a good man. Therefore, he must deserve a good send-off. Then thereafter, we'll be pleased with our speculation. Right now, there should be no room for speculation.
Senzo was a very kind person. I've never seen Senzo being sad or angry in the camp.
Football matters now, and the new Ethiopian Premier League season kicked off at the weekend with the winners of the Addis Ababa City Cup, the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, and Ethiopian Coffee taking onto the pitch. It's the second time the two sides have met in less than a week. Ethiopian Coffee, known locally as Buna, had lost to CBE 5-6 on penalties in the City Cup in the earlier encounter. Therefore, there was a lot riding on the season opener on Sunday, with Buna's fans seeking revenge.
Tens of thousands of fans were on hand on Saturday to watch the Ethiopian Coffee team take on Commercial Bank Club as the two teams kicked off the Ethiopian Premier League season. The two teams from the capital Addis Ababa had met earlier in the week at the Addis Ababa City Cup finals, and Ethiopia Coffee were out for revenge after going down 6-5 in a penalty shootout to their long-time rivals. But the Coffee team was made to wait for their revenge as they suffered yet another loss at the hands of the Commercial Bank team, going down 2-0. Commercial Bank Club head coach Sagai Kindamariam said their opening win was an indicator of how far the team has come since their last league season.
You may recall that last year we started the Premier League with 4 defeats, but this year we have started with a victory, which is very good for the morale of our team. The next match is an away match, so we need to play it carefully and we will do the best to gain points. Yet this is just the beginning of the National League. More than 25 matches are left.
Ethiopian Coffee team coach Tilon Mengsa said the opening match was a big blow, but the team would focus on the games ahead.
It would have been better if we had won the first match in the league for the morale of our team. However, we have lost points on this match and we will work hard to gain our morale back.
Ethiopia Coffee team finished second in the last league season after being beaten by defending champions St. George, while Commercial Bank were fourth. Ethiopia Coffee fans were disappointed at their team's performance.
The Ethiopian Coffee team played poorly, and the tactics the coach used for the game was the main cause for the defeat. There was inadequate passing of the ball from the midfield players to the strikers. The Commercial Bank team totally dominated the match and won. Ethiopian Coffee team's recent performances have been getting worse, as is evident from the past 3 consecutive matches played during the Addis Ababa City Cup. In the first half, a mistake was made between the Ethiopian Coffee goalkeeper and the defender, who accidentally scored a goal against his own team, and during the second half, they tried to equalize, but Philip Dawes scored a second goal for Commercial Bank Club. The Ethiopian Coffee team improved its playing tactics in the second half, but the Commercial Bank team was focused on a defensive play, which helped them save their point.
The league is one of the oldest in Africa, having started in 1944. Defending champions St. George Sports Association have won the league a record 26 times.
This is Sports News Africa, and we go to Kenya next, where basketball players who want to play the game professionally are looking up to the likes of Serge Ibaka from the Congo and South Sudan-born British player Luol Deng, who ply their trade in the National Basketball Association, the NBA.
Kenyan basketball players are aspiring to one day feature on American basketball courts representing their country, or perhaps for some of the NBA teams. This passion runs deep in Kenyatta University in Nairobi, where students are avid followers of the NBA and always look forward for the start of each season. African players in the NBA such as Luo Deng from Sudan, Serge Ibaka from Republic of Congo, and Disagana Diop of Senegal have spurred interest in the game and are considered role models by many players on the continent. IT student Tony Okoril, who plays basketball for Kenyatta University, said professional basketball in Kenya is still in its infancy and needs to be developed.
There are quite a number of differences in terms of the quality of basketball played, the physique of the players, and the coaching. And maybe the greatest aspect is that in the NBA, they played professionally. In Kenya, we played mostly for fun because there's no sponsorship as such.
Okoril added that during the coming NBA season, he will be particularly interested in following Kevin Garnett, who plays for the Brooklyn Nets.
My favorite team is the Boston Celtics, but for this coming season, I think I'll support Brooklyn Nets because I love Kevin Garnett and I hope to see how he plays this season.
Ogara Rogers, who plays for Egerton University, believes that talent nurtured earlier would help change the state of basketball in Kenya.
It's normally very important to identify talents at a tender age, a young age. When you identify a talent at a tender age, the kid grows, you know who the kid wants to be. They say from a young age you should give the kid football and he'll choose from himself. But in Kenya, many guys start playing basketball at the university level. At the high school, fourth form, third form, you know that you have wasted around 13 years. So if we can find ways of identifying talents earlier, then it can take us places.
Several Kenyan universities are currently participating in the annual University Basketball League, which is sponsored by satellite television provider Zuku. The University League consists of 33 member institutions with 58 male and female teams competing for the trophy.
And that's the end of Sports News Africa for today. Join us again tomorrow when we bring you all the latest from Africa and around the world. Goodbye for now.